And the pandemic has pushed mental health issues to the forefront. Would you be able to recognize whether someone was at risk of suicide?
You're watching CTV News, Calgary.
For 490 Albertans, life simply wasn't worth living anymore. They took their own lives last year. Experts say the pandemic has only aggravated mental health issues for many people, and some see suicide as the final answer. Author Peggy McColl knows what it feels like to be hopeless, even to want to die. She once contemplated suicide. The best-selling author has some sage advice in her new book, Savy Wisdom. It has the power to change you, and she's joining us today. Hi, Peggy. It's nice to see you.
Great to see you, Jocelyn.
Can I ask you very bluntly, if when you were in your darkest hour and you were considering suicide, would it have helped if someone had asked you, are you thinking of killing yourself? And would you have been honest?
That is a great question, Jocelyn. And yes, it would have definitely have helped. Would I have been honest? Very likely. I'm a very blunt person. But no one did ask me at that time. And when I was in that dark place, it's such a dark place, you're not even desiring to reach out to anyone else.
Yeah, there's a shame as well, right? We've been taught that these thoughts are wrong, though 1 in 4 people admit they've thought about it. I suspect it's probably even more.
I agree with you. I was thinking the exact same thing. 1 in 4. I suspect it's more. I know of some friends of mine that are feeling that right now. A friend recently told me that she wrote her son a letter and went to bed and prayed to God that she wouldn't wake up in the morning. Well, there's a sign right there.
Mm-hmm. So what are the signs? What should people be looking for?
You know, sometimes the signs aren't that obvious, but there are signs that we can notice. Things like you can see different expressions in people's faces, right? Sometimes baggy eyes are going to show up. Or it could be that they're just become a recluse. You know, they're not responding to messages, or they're not answering their phone, and they tend to be going inward and not coming out. Those can be very telltale signs that they're going into a dark place.
So then what is the right thing to do? If I have a friend or a relative, and I suppose it depends how close you are to that person, but what's the right thing to say? Is it okay to say, are you thinking about suicide?
I think a better place to start might be to just say, hey, you know, how are you feeling, or is there anything that I can do to help you? Or maybe even recognizing that they're going through some challenges and offer to meet with them or do something for them or be a listening ear, because just having someone to talk to can sometimes make a big difference. So they may not obviously say, hey, I'm thinking about suicide, but you may see the signs and you may start a dialogue, and it might lead to that question if you're getting the understanding that they're feeling like they're in a dark place.
Is it ever okay to call for professional help on behalf of someone else, or is that a line you don't cross?
I would definitely call for help for someone else if I felt that they were at that point, at that real dark point. And I would do that because of love, because of care, because I know what that's like. And so many people get to that point and they're not seeing clearly, they're not thinking clearly, they're really caught up in a dark place. And sometimes that can be a shock to cause them to change how they're feeling.
Right. This may sound overly simplistic, but you say there are things we can do every single day just to feel better about ourselves and our lives right now, even if, say, we're not in as bad a place as contemplating suicide.
Absolutely. You know, even if it's just to get to a better feeling state. And here's a very simple way to do it. Just what are you grateful for in your life? What is something? Everyone has something to be grateful for, whether it's the chair you're sitting on, or you woke up this morning, or the sun's shining or not shining. I mean, there's always something to be grateful for. You can also connect to what are you passionate about? And we can also go back in our memories of fun times, of great memories, and relive them. And that can cause you to feel better as well.
Yeah, it's true. Unfortunately, some people will succeed in taking their own lives. So how can we help the people who are left behind understand it or deal with it?
I think everyone needs to understand it's not their fault. They really have to understand that. And if they find that they're really caught up in that guilt, then they may need to seek some help themselves. But it's, you know, when people are at that place, it's dark. They don't think there's any other way out. And they would have asked for help if they thought that they were that it was possible to get help.
Yeah, let's reach out and try and take care of one another. The pandemic doesn't appear to be ending anytime soon, so we need to band together and all be on the same side. Thanks so much, Peggy.
Thank you.
It's
great
lovely
to be here.
Lovely to talk to you today. So if you know of anyone who is depressed, anxious, or perhaps suicidal, please reach out to someone. There are plenty of resources out there. DistressCenter.com. They're also on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And to connect with Peggy, you can go to her website, PeggyMcColl.com. You can also find her on social media. Ian.